impact.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dmitry Golev, more known as Dr. Dmitry or Dr. Dmitry. Today, we're going to get into the next topic, continuing from my yesterday talk about the SEO approaches in MeteorJS. Today, we talk about the SEO beyond the MeteorJS. Here's a few notes again about me. I'm a founder and CTO at Golev Group. Also, we manage our own SaaS projects as a meteorfiles.com and Ostrio. I'm author and maintainer of some of the key packages in Meteor ecosystem. I publish them under the Ostrio namespace. Some of them are well known, like Flow Router Extra, files, cookies, internalization, and other 60 plus packages. I also maintain and contribute to the NPM packages, and I'm owner of the packages like Mailtime, Yosk, and Request libcurl. They're well used across the ecosystem as well. On the side, when I started using the Node.js and MeteorJS, so Node.js I started using since 2011 and MeteorJS since 2013. So I've been quite for a while within the MeteorJS community and projects. Also, in the day-to-day life, I'm a CTO. I know how to lead teams, construct the software, architect it, and make sure software teams going to the success for the business and for the software they build. Okay, let's go next. So today we focus more on new approaches in SEO, which appeared in the past 2 years, and with some extra focus on AI, LLMs, and GPTs, since we all know what the search quickly moves from the traditional search engines to the ChatGPT's Perplexity, Grok, and all alike services and chats. So today we're going to quickly discuss the new best practices. Then we move along the AI, LLMs, GPTs. Then I will explain how AI goes into the internet and search for information you ask in a chat with it. And I explain how to tailor your content on your websites and pages to make sure it's well scanned and understood by LLMs. So let's get to the new practices. There's a new standard in the SEO field called LLMs.txt. It's really, really raw at the moment. I think it's like 9 years old. So it is just a little baby, but it's quickly adopted and pushed by the chat like Perplexity. Perplexity took ahead and took over it and quickly building its as a standard. And in a simple words, it is a markdown file called LLMs.txt. It is the root of your homepage for LLMs. It is a great way to improve AI interaction and understanding of content on your website. It is, again, the really new standard, and you can read about it, more about it, at llmstxt.org, and maybe contribute to it, since all of us here somehow related to the open source. They inherit best of open source practices, so you can go and contribute standard. I will talk more about LLMs.txt in a couple of minutes. Then sitemaps. It is old school, it is simple, and it is still very well efficient. There was some changes in sitemap standard, not in standard itself, but how it is processed by the search engines. So, for example, modified frequency property got kind of deprecated. It's not used anymore, and there is more strict rules needs to apply to the last node. And yesterday talk, I said if you can maintain last node, it is really important to make sure it is follow along updates of your content. So for example, if a search engine crawler comes to your page and checks the sitemap and sees it was recently updated, it goes and check it, but in fact it find out it wasn't updated because, for example, you use a compiler builder for your front end website, and when it compiles, it always use the time step of the time of compilation, not the changes on the page. Most likely, 70% chance it will exclude such pages from the search. So if you can't maintain the last mod, it's better to remove it at all and don't use any other properties for the date or frequency, how it's often updated. So it's better to avoid it if you can't maintain it. Then, of course, you should remember about the limits of sitemap. Nowadays, it's 50,000 URLs per single file or 50 megabytes per single file. Then it's always a great idea to split sitemaps when it's necessary and use index maps. And as I already told yesterday, there is best practice. And if you want to follow the standard, the nested sitemaps files should be located in under the paths of URLs which they hold links to. So, for example, if you have path called tracks or soundtracks, the sitemap under this path should hold only URLs which start from this path, soundtrack slash the name of the soundtrack, for example. And then there is a quick trick if you don't want to maintain complex sitemap at all. You can use sitemap index and link URL list instead of the sitemap. It's just a simple TXT file. It doesn't need any special markup, and it's just single URL per line. It works really well. Same limits applied, 50,000 URLs per file. It's easy to maintain and generate using any modern backend, and it's really efficient. And from our recent research, there is no downsides or pros cons using low maintenance sitemap versus URL list. Of course, if you have sitemap with the high maintenance, correct last mods, links to the images, it is better to use it. Otherwise, URL list can serve the same. And of course, JSON LD is this standard was around for a while, but it is really great way to quickly mark up every content you have on the website. So there has been updates to the standard. I encourage you to go to this the schema.org and discover new entities they have. Probably they're better fit. If you've been checking it for a long time ago, probably there's better fit entities for type of the content you have at the website. Also, if you don't want to go to the schema.org and search there because their UI terrible, you can go and consult any of your favorite AIs and ask to prepare JSON LD for your type of the website and content. And as a good reminder, you can have multiple JSON LDs in the page. You don't need to maintain a long 400 lines JSON LD. You can split, and you don't need to have it in head neither. You can split it and put along with your content. So you maintain the head in one piece of the code in your architecture of the website. Then you maintain the section in another piece, and then you have an article, which is other module of your architecture of the website, and you can serve and maintain JSON LDs within those parts of the content, which I found really is great and simplifies the maintenance. All right, let's go next and learn how to tailor, how to optimize and control access of the AIs to your website. And so, as always, robots.txt is the way to go. Let me change the color. The robots.txt is the de facto standard tool to manage control from the different bots and agents to your website. It is a great way to prevent scanning some of the content. Is a great way to allow scanning other content you wish ChatGPTs and other AIs scan it, and then you can control other crawlers which go around that. So again, you can learn more about the robots.txt in the documentation or ask your favorite AI. It is really well known to them. Then there is some extension to the long time robots meta tag. Nowadays, you can pass extra attributes to it. You can, for example, ask to don't do the snippet, and snippet is the piece of the text is previewed when link displayed to in the search page results. Then you can instruct it to grab different size of the images. Also, if you have videos on your pages, you can allow different bots to display those videos in search page results. Or you can, for example, if you -1 means you allow to view the entire video, or you can put preview for 10-20 seconds, which is great way to convince user to visit your page. Then robots meta tag also allows you to tell when content stopped being available or will stop being available in the future. It is one of the so there is not enough ways to explain to the search engines when it's time to hide the page from the search results, and this is one of the ways which can help you to resolve it. I think you should use it if it wasn't used before. If you have pages which going to get expired or expired by some events. This is the new way how to tell AI bots to prevent indexing by AI different agents. So no AI and no image AI. So there's two different kind of AI agents going around the web. One hunting for your text content, another for images. So for example, you don't want to AI learn from your images, so you use no image AI only. This one is pretty standard. No index, no follow, no snippet. So it prevents all kind of bots from using the page, certain page. And then there's different combinations of the attributes which tailor to the specific bots. So you can pass not only robots, you can pass Googlebot and Bing into the name property attribute of the meta tag, and it will apply to those certain bots only. And there is a new standard, which is I think less than 2 years old. It's called IndexNow. It's a great way to push content changes to the search engines and index engines. And it's great in the first place because this standard for the first time united all the databases of the search engines. So whenever you push to one of the search engines, changes about your pages, new pages, deleted pages, these details got propagated across all search engines which are part of the IndexNow. And I think right now there is 5 major search engines participating in this program, and Bing is leading this. I think if you maintain SEO score, if you interested in your online presence, this is the standard to go and implement. It is simple HTTP requests to the endpoints. It is simple, really simple to verify the ownership of the website. Just you add simple file with the hash string to the root of your website, and it just start working. So I encourage everyone to try IndexNow. Okay, let's now learn where and how AI search for the information. Surprisingly, but due to our research, there is no. Oh, great. I'm just reading the chat. Jan tells us he already uses IndexNow, which is great. And after the talk, I'm going to ask him if it works well or not for the literally universe. Also, for IndexNow, there is integration with the CloudFlare. You can enable it in one click, but it doesn't match the standard. You can try it, but we decided to turn it off on our websites. Okay. So how I search for the internet, for data around the web, when you ask it a question. To surprisingly, during our research, we figure out the AI doesn't really often go to its knowledge database. So it uses its knowledge only to output the information it found during the search, and most likely it will go to the Bing and it will prefer regular search, just as you and me doing it daily in Google. But for some reason, Google doesn't allow most of the popular AI agents go and search through its engine. And being Microsoft, they decided to onboard most of the AIs and chat GPTs and allow them to use their search. So it is really easy to get views from OpenAI if you have a website with the topic in demand. So you just go to the Bing webmaster, you create a new account, you fix all warnings which are displayed to you in the webmaster dashboard. Then you submit the sitemap and wait for OpenAI bot to visit your pages. It is really well automated on their end. I think the Bing even ping OpenAI bot to visit your pages once they're available. So I encourage you to go and try it. It doesn't take much of the time. You spend 1 hour, and then probably in a couple of weeks you will have extra 10% of traffic. Then you can train your AI. It is simple and easy as well. It is a little more time consuming than other approaches. So you have to start with asking questions about your product, figure out what it knows and doesn't know, and then you can tell it what it should know about your product, page, or service, and you can ask it to remember the facts you're telling it. So it is a great way to teach AI. It works with the ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Grok. And while you do that, before you do that, ensure in your settings that learning and sharing is on, so it can learn from data you provide to it. Cool. I'm reading the comments by Jan. Okay, and again, the classic SEO still counts towards AI SEO, since the agent's going to the Bing and start searching. You have to improve all the basics. Before we talked about the sitemap and the markup and the JSON LD. So summarizing, you should ensure your website ranking in SERPs. Then it is a good idea to implement A11Y. It is accessibility. It is set of special meta tags which will help AIs to navigate around your website. And it is always a good idea to maintain your core web vitals and check it time to time and fix all the warnings and errors may appear there. All right, let's go next. I try to speed up this section. So, what kind of content the AIs prefer? So AI agents and LLMs love questions and answers because basically this is the way how we communicate with them. We ask the question, they give us an answer. So whenever you have FAQ on your websites and pages, it will prefer this content to anything else. It is their favorite type of the content. So implementing FAQ sections is a great idea. Probably you should put it to the every page if you really want to drive the traffic from AI chats. We've been doing this as experiments, and we've seen really positive influence. Then, of course, dedicated FAQ sections for every feature, and Again, FAQ sections can be really well marked up using JSON LD, so they consume it even better. And ensure your FAQ pages is readable. We quite often see that a list of the questions presented with the folded answers. Do not fold it be behind some kind of HTML. Keep it always unfolded, because not most of the AIs, some of the AIs crawlers, they come with the um, image recognition software, and they scan, and when they see something in HTML but it isn't visible to the user, they try to avoid ranking such content. All right, let's get next to the advanced LLMs TXT. I quickly mentioned that is markdown files composed in the language of the most of the chat GPTs and the AI agents. So it is, you can expand it. Initially in the standard is just only one file, but you can link other MD files and basically build alternative version of your website using the markdown. Also, you can use a different kind of language. Unlike you present details on the landing pages for the users, you can tell the story narrative way. You can tell it what to remember, how to remember, and how to consume the information on your website. And try to explain things like it's 5 years old. It will just really consume and understand your content better. It can have even larger amount of the text, because users more attracted to the images, animations, and other things. But for AIs and LLMs, you can do more text than usual for the users. All right, now let's get to the pre-rendering and to the Australia service. So yesterday we've been talking a little about the SSR. I want to recap. So the SSR is server-side rendering, when you prepare all the static HTML on the server to make sure it is available to the AI agents and web crawlers, because when they come to your website, they don't really execute the JavaScript. Um, so the pros of the SSR: you serve the static HTML, you serve hydrated templates, and you have meta text necessary for the crawlers to mark up and understand your pages. On the con side is it is requires extra development, extra hours, and it is easy to make a mistake, which will affect SEO in a bad way. It is increases maintenance complexity, and in some cases, it may negatively impact SEO score due to clocking when you serve certain content to the user and a little different content to the bots, and when they don't match up, and some bots check for it, and if they found it is in place, they will remove such page from the ranking, from the search page results, and maybe even entire the website. All right, here's the benefits of using pre-rendering by Australia. Just a little bit more about the pre-rendering. It is a thin middleware service which sits between all bots and your pages and website. And when bots coming to your website, it just redirects all of them to our endpoint. And we serve static snapshots, and we do it really fast. So it is increases crawl budget, because we do it really fast, and the bots can scan larger amount of the pages in a shorter time. We've seen cases where up to 1 million of pages got into the index of the search engine. Then we manage genuine response codes. It is really complex topic, and again, extra maintenance and burden on your development team to maintain genuine response codes for all different kind of pages. We, again, it is reduces the development load, reduces complexity and maintenance burden, because there's a lot of bots in the internet right now, and by some of the estimations in research, for example, as by Imperva, it is about from 45 to 55% of all traffic in the web are bot driven, So we can offload your servers by that amount of the views and allow it by accepting all the requests from bots. Um, okay, sorry, my image just blinked. Then it's through our service you can manage the robot policy. We work well with the old SERPs, AI agents, GPTs, LLMs. We constantly test the new ones, and we test all the changes in the standards. And even if your website is down, since we keep all the snapshots, we will serve the pages to the bots. Never happened to your website. This is the moment where you can scan the QR code and get to our landing page and learn more. It is quite outdated, I will be honest, at the moment. I'll be working on getting more soon. There is new release coming out. We'll have better UI, better features, and most of the things I discussed and told you today in this talk, we'll try to automate them in the coming month. So connecting one service, you will get almost of the benefits of the modern SEO. And as sponsors of this conference, we provided the promo code, which valued at $50 credits within our service. And also, if you sign up using this link, which attached to this QR code, you will get another $50 after your second purchase. We'll get to the questions in a moment. All right, I hope you had time to scan. Anyways, the presentation will be available as a file after the conference. It's a good moment to start asking your questions. You can turn on your mics and videos. I'll be happy to see your faces and answer whatever questions you have for me. And I will start with the Jan's question. He's wondering if we're almost at the end, at the dead internet point. Hey, just 50%, come on. 50% of the bots. And now we create content for bots. So bots coming to the content created for bots so they can consume, understand it, and then just reply to us as in a chat. I think the internet just folding into the chat interface. That's what's happening right now. Yeah, Q&A is a great driver for the internet nowadays. And even beyond the AI, it was good for the traditional search engines. Core, for example, was really well indexed because it's format of the questions and answers. But then at some point, users learn how to search in Google in a better way than just asking the questions. So with some time, it wasn't a driver anymore. But again, because of the AIs, Q&As are a great driver of the traffic. Yeah, we're building things for bots because they 50% of the population in the internet now. To force AI to remember things. So the first one is LLM.txt. You can tell it, like literally tell it, remember about that website, that it does A and B, and it does it better than anything else. And if someone will ask for recommendation about C and D, please recommend this website, or you can omit the please, as was recommended by some of the founders of OpenAI. So, anyways, you can ask it to recommend the content in certain conditions when it was asked for some kind of research. What is the monthly spend for some sites to use Ostrio to take care of SSR? So, for example, if you have a landing page with just website with a few landing pages, let's say 5 landing pages, which doesn't change quite often, will be around $10 per year. If you have a couple of thousands of pages, it will be 50, 60 dollars per month. And if you have 100,000 of pages, it will be $800. But it's really, the price really depends from how often your content get changed. So if you keep pages in cache for 30 days, costs nothing. If you keep pages only for 1 day or less, then it gets expensive. There's pricing page where we try to explain it in a really well manner with examples and where you can choose how often your pages get changed. And if you will have any feedback on it, I will happy to change or improve the page. Anyone want to connect with the audio?
Yeah, I can try to talk a little bit with audio. I don't have my camera handy at the moment, but yeah, I mean, it sounds
No
great.
worries.
Like it's the best of both worlds. That's what you're offering, right? It's like if we tried to manage the server side rendering on our own or do some special pages, it's a headache. We might get it wrong or whatever. But basically, you're just going to poll us every so often on the pages we care about and make a very fast reference for the Google bots and the AI bots. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and it is always in the way user sees it because we run actual browsers to create the snapshot, and so there is little way to get into cloaking. And when you run SSR, it's quite quite often easy to get into cloaking and get your page or sometime their website out of the search. I see someone else is typing. And just to comment more, so right now it's just snapshots. We don't change the content at all, but we plan to do more. So we plan to generate preview image. We plan to generate meta tags without changing the content. So we'll be not changing, adding to the meta text section. Then we plan to integrate other services and tools which will improve indexation and the performance of the indexation. Yeah, you only need it for outside facing pages. That's why the first talk yesterday was some part of it dedicated to the fact that Meteor is not only about dashboards and complex UIs for corporate users. It can be great for creating landing pages and knowledge databases and anything else public facing in the web. So the fact that it runs on JavaScript shouldn't stop you from creating public pages. All right, I see there is no more questions. Jan, are you going to connect, stop the recording, and take control?
Jess, I have one more question. We still have some time till the next talk. In regards to, how should I say it? Let me actually get the camera as well. In regards to, you mentioned about keeping the pages in cache and not changing them. When it comes like to Meteor, any like I have a Meteor with React, any like recommendation, because I have a lot of pages that don't really change that much, but they are always generated. So I'm guessing your service then or Austrian goes, and every time it kind of hits the page, it caches it again, or is there some trick to kind of prevent that if the data on it have
No,
not changed?
it caches only one until you tell it the page is expired, or until the TTL on this page reaches the end of the TTL and removed from the cache. Right now we have default cache for the all pages, but quite soon, couple of months, you will be able to create page rules So all the different pages you will be able to set different TTL. And then there will be API where you can tell, when you create a page, you can tell to the Australia the new page is created, and you can set at this moment the TTL and other settings. There will be per page settings. So right now we have featured render or don't render images and other things. So you will be able to tell if this certain page needs certain features when it's get rendered and specific detail.
Awesome, because so it also kind of looks on the headers then currently of the page. Is that correct assumption?
No, it checks. It only looks. You mean to determine if the page was changed or not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for example, I have like a story page or like story overview, which only changes if there's like a new chapter or some other changes. So I have like an updated at timestamp that I can potentially like put into the header, but I don't think I have that right now. So there isn't. I don't have like any DTA. I don't think I have like any time or anything like that left in any of the headers or any of the returns.
Okay, right now it doesn't check if the page is changed until the TTL is over, and it just goes and grabs the fresh version. But we have hashing mechanism in place, so we're planning to use it to determine if the page was changed or not. But it will be using entire page content.
Awesome, thanks a lot. There are some more questions.
Okay, I'm happy with it doing mostly internal apps. You don't have to do Flash UI stuff, and you can also sync SEO users. Yeah, can't argue with it. It is different field to build the landing pages and design them and do all other stuff. So no wonder it's quite often different teams and they use different tech stack for their different tasks, in fact. But if you're working alone, or if it is a small team, or if it is your own business, sometimes there is no reason to split the stacks or split the teams, because it is quite expensive to run multiple teams. So you can stick to the one solution and dedicate SEO to some service. We actually built it for internal use many years ago when we started using Angular back then Meteor, then React, and it's been useful since I think 2010 at least. There wasn't no competitors or other services or packages like that. Then in Meteor there was a package for some time, crawlable. I actually took it over from other maintainer and been maintaining for a couple of years after. But it is a complex one. It is difficult to make it efficient and co-host on the same machine as the website. Then it was powered by Phantom.js, and Phantom.js got deprecated. So we moved on with our cloud solution and stopped maintaining the library. It doesn't. So the question is what OSTR stands for in Australia. Doesn't stands for anything. Many years ago, before the website appeared on that address, I just decided to buy any short address under IO domain name and domain zone. And Austria was easy to spell and it's just 4 letters. I bought it and then it was sitting around for I think 2 or 4 years, just empty. And then we had the idea about publishing our internal development or support tool online, and we just used this domain name. But we can come up, I think, with something. I will think. I'll ask AI to do that for me. To come up with the explanation for OSTR. All right, guys, any other questions? The last one was good. Makes me thinking now about that. Jan, you
All
muted?
right. Yeah, thank you very much. Oh, there is a recommendation probably from AI, open source tools repository, online storage transfer resource, optimized search and tracking resource. I think it's better the most so far. Ostrich speech
My
tech runner.
search, yeah.
Or you can have it like an npm. You can have it. It will always generate. You can generate a lot of these names, and it will display one of them randomly. That's what it has. But now I'm going
Yeah,
to
ostrich.
pause. Yeah,
Ostrich.
I'm going to pause
Isn't
the
this fun?
recording now, so we can ask off record if necessary.
You can't imagine